Hey guys, this video will help you make your Fast and Fizzy graphs. So right now I'm in the temperature lab. I've also got up the surface area one. Keep in mind that you are only responsible for making one graph, and that one graph should correspond to whichever CER you are answering. So at the end of this, you'll turn in one graph and one CER, and they should match. So if you're answering the surface area CER, you should make the surface area graph. Remember though, you're doing all of the quick questions. So where I'll start is I'm going to open up a new page and I'm going to go in and make a Google Sheet. So to reiterate how to get there, open up a new page, go over to this waffle and click Google Sheets. That will bring you to this blank area here. I'm going to open up a blank spreadsheet. So here we go. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to give it a title. I'm going to call it Fast and Fizzy Graph. You can call it FFT, FFSA, Fast and Fizzy, just something so that if you need to work on this later or get to it, you can search for it. So in your data table here, I'm going to make both of them so you can see them side by side. You would have all of your data already filled in. So I'm going to copy all three of these rows here, hit Control-C, come over here, and paste. Now, if you're having trouble pasting, and it's not working for some reason, or it's all pasting in one cell or something like that, each of these little boxes is called a cell, you can also just type it in. And then, I'm going to go over here and I'm going to copy the class average times, all three of those boxes, Control-C, Control-V. Sometimes you need to actually go to Edit, copy and edit paste. Sometimes it'll work better that way. So I'm going to make up some time here. We're going to say whole was 60 seconds and crushed was 20, right? You won't be making it up. You'll be taking your class average times. In this spot, I'm going to type in surface area because that's what whole and crushed is standing in for. Over here, I'm going to just copy over the temperature ones. Remember, you don't have to do both. I'm just showing you both. I'm going to copy all four of those. Control-C, Control-V. I'm going to copy in class average times right here. These are three different temperatures. My cold, let's say it was 160, room temperature was 60, and hot was 20. Okay. So at this point, you should have one of these in your Google Sheets. To make a graph, all we're going to do is highlight, insert, chart. Now what it pops up is a pie chart. We don't want a pie chart. The normal options that we'll use in science class would either be a line graph, would look something like that, or would be a column graph. Line graphs are useful if we're tracking how something changes over time, if we're showing progress. We don't want to show progress here. We want to compare. We want to compare how long it took for the whole versus how long it took for the crushed. And what's great about this is because we set up our data table well, it's got class average times, and it's got surface area. It's got that little S to mean seconds. So the only thing we have to change is our title. So what should we title it? The easiest way is to come back over here and look at this title. What we're trying to show is how temperature changes the rate of chemical reaction. So why don't we just steal this title? I'm going to highlight it, Control-C. I'm going to click here, delete, Control-V. If, when you deleted it, let's say that you click out of it accidentally and you're like, uh-oh, my title disappeared. The way that you go about finding that is over here in Customize. You might have all these different options. You want to go to Chart and Axis Titles. And here you can pick which title you mess around with. There's a subtitle, the horizontal, meaning the flat one, the vertical, meaning this one. Now we, of course, want the chart title. And you can type in whatever you want, though we know that we're going to type in the effective temperature on the rate of chemical reaction. I just copied and pasted that. Again, if copy and paste doesn't work, you can type it on your own. If you were instead of doing, this actually, whoops, good catch. This isn't temperature. This is surface area, the one that I'm showing right here. So that should say surface area on the rate of chemical reaction. And so if instead of surface area, you wanted to do the temperature graph. You're going to highlight those 8 cells, go to Insert, Chart, same thing. This time it made it into a bar graph. And we're going to come up here, we're going to delete that and say the effect of surface area on the rate of chemical reaction. So now you have a graph in Google Sheets. We're almost done. You're never going to turn in the actual Google Sheets to me because that would be about 100 Google Sheets coming in. So I don't want that. I want your graph in the actual lab document. So we're going to go Control-C or Edit and Copy. Notice that I don't have just the title highlighted or just a bar highlighted. I've clicked down here in this blank white space. You've got this blue border around it so that you know that you're just focused on the graph itself. We're going to go Edit, Copy. We're going to switch over to the correct lab. We're going to come down here where it says Graph. It says graph the class average for the reactions that occur in cold, room temp, and hot. Delete these instructions after inserting the graph. So I'm going to get rid of that. And I'm either going to hit Control-V or go into Edit and Paste. I like to link because what that does is that if you make changes in the Google Sheet, it'll automatically update your graph. And then, since it's just so big, I'm just going to make it just a touch smaller. And there you go. You'd be all done. So remember that the steps are to open up a new page. Go to the waffle when you open up that new page. Right? You'll come over here to the waffle. You'll go into Google Sheets. You'll open up a blank Google Sheets. And you will start, not that one. You will start typing in or copying and pasting in all of this data. So yours should look something like this or something like this, depending on whether you're doing temperature or surface area. You'll have your data, your class average data. You'll highlight, insert, chart, and then change the titles. So yours should end up looking almost exactly like one of these two here.